Hey everyone, I'm Kelly Link, host and interviewer, and in this series we'll be exploring esports. Today in Exploring Esports, we're going to be talking with pros, YouTubers, streamers, to see if they think esports is a real sport.
No, they are considered professional athletes. Now I've watched.
My sons are diehard video game players.
Probably parents is going to shock
They
parents,
can't
but
run, they
the
can't
ship
jump,
has
they
sailed.
can't do nothing. This is good news. This is good news.
From like an endurance perspective, absolutely a sport.
If you can say like chess is a sport or something like that, it's all thinking, you know what I mean? You're just trying to outthink your opponent.
It's at a high enough level where I would say, all right, if you think that this is so easy, then do it.
As a traditional sports enthusiast, I'm gonna go ahead and say that esports is not a sport.
Hey everyone, this is Giuseppe Guastella, aka The Godfather. I am the esports FIFA player for the LA Galaxy and represent the US Soccer Federation.
Here from The Godfather, Ibrahimovic able to find Messi, out wide, Yanni! There it is!
There it is!
1-0 for The Godfather.
What are some things that preparing for an esports tournament or even just becoming a pro player that people that aren't gamers would think of?
You have to know like the ins and outs of the game, the actual like physics and how the players move. You actually have to know which player to use at a certain position, when to move up your attacking. You have to understand soccer.
So when did sports franchises start becoming invested into esports?
So the MLS wanted to start an actual league called the EMLS, which brought these clubs like the Galaxy to have one representative to represent the club. And I'm one of the top players in the United States. I'm based in LA, so it was a perfect fit for the Galaxy and I to join the EMLS.
You know, we have this really interesting juxtaposition of gaming and esports. Do you think esports is a real sport?
I'm gonna be the bad guy on this. I don't think esports is a sport. I could be 50 years old and I could be one of the best players in the world. For me, it's sitting down in a chair and moving your fingers. Mentally, it's there, but for it to be a sport, it has to be physically and mentally there. Sport, it doesn't matter. The generation now, instead of watching sports, they're watching these tournaments, they're watching us play. It doesn't matter if it's called an actual sport, esports is fine.
It takes as much muscle memory or muscles period as much as any other sport.
Just like regular sports, you have strategies. You tell one person to go one direction, you tell the other guy to hold down this other guy.
But if you have an audience and you have people who, for whatever they're doing, stop what they're doing in the middle of their day to look at a screen, that's a sport.
Who cares? Why do we have to have that debate again? It is just people coming together and having fun, and as long as it's making people happy, who cares if it's a sport?
Hey guys, it's Jeff. A lot of people are asking, is esports a sport? Well, think about it. It includes hand-eye coordination, body preparation, and it is a competition. We consider shooting a sport, curling, NASCAR. What's the difference really between pushing a pedal and using the controller? Now, there's another side to this question. Does esports care about being a sport? And I actually don't think so. You look at the college level. Frankly, collegiate esports have a chance to correct wrongs made by the NCAA and create their own vertical on college campuses.
On college campuses, there's a discussion now between the athletic departments and the esports clubs of how to make this. Should we make this a sport?
I don't think you need to be the most athletic person, but I do believe it is a sport because of the mental capacity that's necessary at that point. I think what most people don't recognize who aren't in esports is that it's not like, oh, a bunch of guys just playing video games. Yeah, your thumbs really have to move fast, but your brain has to move just as quick because every single person knows every single thing about the game.
I'm a big golfer, but what's different than golf, really? With esports, I mean, when you think about what you're doing with your hands, with your brain.
If you consider chess to be a sport or poker to be a sport, then esports is 100% one.
Also, we get really sweaty, or I get really, maybe I can't speak for you, but I get really sweaty when I'm playing competitively.
Trust me, I interview some of these NBA 2K League guys after games. They're soaked in sweat.
That's the other thing, like, it's a gladiator sport. So you have to earn every single thing that you get. It's not like you can be the 12th best man in the NBA on a team and you're gonna get a championship ring and you have a guaranteed salary. You can make $0 and play the entire year competitively. It depends on your success. So that mindset is entirely different when you have one of the best players across from you and you're thinking like, I gotta kill for my food here. I think esports could actually end up being just as big as any other sport. First off, the target demographic is younger. Kids want to go to see the Giants or the Jets or anyone like that, of course, but they don't get to see Tom Brady as often as they could see anyone on YouTube or Twitch. That connection that they would have to that professional is just incredible.
It's growing so rapidly. I mean, honestly, the sky is the limit for where these things can actually go.
Well, something that a lot of players don't know, or a lot of fans don't know about in esports, is that they have coaches.
It's incredible. They know all the plays, they have everything locked down. They've also watched hours and hours of game film on the team that they're playing.
Tell someone it's not a sport at that point.
So, did we ever find out, is esports a real sport? Well, we asked a dozen different people and we got a dozen different answers. But between established organizations, sold out tournaments, and franchising around the world, it's hard to deny the similarities. Next time on Exploring Esports, we'll find out what it takes to go pro.
Yep. Sure. Oh, it's actually.
Yeah, it's actually melting.